Every generation thinks they've come up with something new, even though said thing has been in existence far longer than they have been. Now, there are inventions. We really do live in an age of wonders. The technology we have today was science fiction when I was a lad growing up in the 80s and 90s. And to be honest, I still don't really know how a mobile phone works. All I know is if I chose to, I could take a photo of my genitalia and 5 seconds later be indecently harassing a woman living on the other side of the world. But things which have already been invented, here's an example. As children, all of us thought that when we put our jumper on and stared down the sleeve at the television set, we were the first person in history ever to do that. And I'm in a heavy metal band, and whether we like to admit it or not, every metal band is just ripping off something that Black Sabbath did over 50 years ago. And of course, Sabbath, they were ripping off Ludwig van Beethoven. But now, some younger people, from Generation Z or Gen Z, if you're watching in the new world, think they've invented something totally new. It's getting big on TikTok, and it's called silent walking. Now, I'm recording in the spare room because it is absolutely pissing down with rain outside, but I have just tried it because, you know, I'm down with the kids and I want to show that I'm with it. What silent walking involves is going for a walk without wearing headphones or earbuds, so you're not listening to music, podcasts, audiobooks or anything, and also you're not on your mobile phone. You're just walking silently. There are people in their mid-20s going on TikTok thinking they've invented walking. So silent walking is now a huge thing, and it's being described as a wellness exercise. And I guess in a way it is. If you're not walking around staring at your mobile phone, you're less likely to step off the curb and get flattened by a bus. However, when that happens, I think evolution is in play. We've known for a long time now that the gene pool requires some chlorine, and we've got enough youth, we need a fountain of smart. But some people are saying, younger people, and we know that some young people, not all, but some, are very, very fragile, that the first time they tried silent walking, the anxiety was almost unbearable. So I guess they had to run back to their designated safe spaces so they could cry uncontrollably into their fair trade sugar-free vegan fuckaccino.
I'm committing to one silent walk a day.
Not me unintentionally starting a movement. It's called silent walking, and it's about to change your life.
It really has changed my life. I've been going on walks ever since 2020, and recently within the past year I've been going on these walks and I put my headphones in, but I turn nothing on. And I'm so happy that Maddie coined a term for it because everything she said is exactly true. The way that these silent walks...
The arrogance of assuming that no one has done this before. No one has, say, gone walking without listening to music. How do they think people in the 1980s managed it? Because you'd need a wheelbarrow to transport the massive family hi-fi and speakers and maybe a 3-mile extension lead. And if not, you'd need to turn said stereo up really loud to get over the petrol-powered generator you'd have to drag round behind you. And what about earlier times, in the 1800s? Would a gentleman say to his good lady, "Darling, let us go on a stroll this evening. We will require a horse and cart large enough to transport a string quartet." What other analogue experiences could Gen Z TikTokers discover? Maybe going to a concert and actually watching the stage rather than watching the stage through their mobile phone. Or going for a meal and not photographing every sodding course so they can stick it on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever the young people today are using. And I have some sympathy for them because they've grown up never knowing a time when there wasn't the internet. They don't know the pain of dial-up. And many of them will have had smartphones for most of their lives. In fact, increasingly, crap parents are relying on smartphones and tablets for their children's entire preschool education. And then we wonder why kids today have no social skills. So these Gen Zers partaking in silent walking say it's very good for their mental health and their creativity. So I've got another retro experience I think they should try. Because I don't want to be crude here, but we all have bodily functions. And when it comes to using the water closet, the smartphone has been a game changer. Because now you can park your breakfast and it doesn't have to be a dull experience. If I'm honest, I still prefer a book. And whilst I'm being honest, most of the knowledge I've acquired throughout the years, a large amount of it has been accrued while sat atop the porcelain throne. So what I'm proposing for those who are blown away by silent walking, let's send them to use the Kazi without their smartphones, because they would then have a very 20th century experience. And if you're my age, you'll remember this. You sat in the smallest room and soon the boredom would set in and you'd end up reading the warning labels on the bottle of bleach. And this would be a good thing. Because for these people who think they've invented walking and then share it on the mental illness factory that is TikTok, and remember, only a few years ago, TikTokers were recording themselves swallowing laundry detergent. For those people, I think reading that bleach should not be ingested would be a good thing. As ever, thanks for watching. Hello and welcome. That lighting isn't fucking working. Every generation, they have fucking wanked it up. Those two, I could take a photo of my genitalia and 5 seconds later, I'd be sexually harassing a woman on the other side of the world. Or at least giving her a laugh. Anyone who comments and says this isn't the best shirt ever, you're wrong. It's called secret walking. It's called silent walking. It's good in here, right? Just read what I've written. But like I said, it's been raining and this is fucked. I'm back.